It was estimated that 200,000 women had been sexually assaulted so far in the U.S. military. If you take into account that women don't report because of the extreme retaliation, and that was, more than a decade ago, I would say you could easily double that number, and it's probably somewhere near about 500,000 women have now been sexually assaulted in the U.S. military.
Army Private First Class Lavina Johnson would have turned 23 this month, but 3 years ago, the African-American teenager from Missouri was found dead in Blatterau, just a few weeks short of her 20th birthday. Her body was found in a tent belonging to the private military contractor Kellogg Brown & Root. She'd abrasions all over her body, a broken nose, a black eye, burned hands, loose teeth, acid burns on her genitals, a bullet hole in her head. The Army labeled Lavina Johnson's death a suicide. They told her parents she died of self-inflicted non-combat injuries. But her parents never believed that story. They think she was raped and murdered, and that the Army's investigators ignored physical evidence that would have proved this.
The road after sexual assault is a long and challenging one. As is typical with victims of violent crime, I suffered from PTSD, terrifying nightmares, and depression. I still wake in the night. He still comes after me in my dreams. Yes, sir.
And when we went to the command about it, me and the petty officer who saw my face, they let it wait because they didn't want any kind of problems going on. I needed the key to do my cleanup. So I knocked on his door, and he said, okay, yeah, come on in here, it's in here. And I said, no, I'm gonna wait out here. And he screamed at me, and he made me come in, and he grabbed my arm. And he raped me in his birthing area.
These vicious claims about me of inappropriate conduct with women are totally and absolutely false. And the Clintons know it, and they know it very well. These claims are all fabricated. They're pure fiction, and they're outright lies. These events never, ever happened, and the people that said them meekly fully understand. You take a look at these people, you study these people, and you'll understand also. The claims are preposterous, ludicrous, and defy truth, common sense, and logic.
Donald Trump had specifically asked about me because I remind him of his daughter, and she said, well, she's 13 as well. So he knew the first time that he saw me, but he took a liking to me because I looked like his daughter.
So, Donald, all right, I'm afraid to ask this question, but what would you do if Playboy put Ivanka on the cover of the magazine and she had not...
This is going to be an interesting answer.
He doesn't even want you to have a drink, I know it, so...
It would be really disappointing, not really, but it would depend on what was inside the magazine.
If she posed, it would be fine, but if they put her picture on...
But it depends on what goes inside the magazine.
Well, see, that's her gripe. That's this girl's gripe. People assume there'll be nude photos.
Right, you do assume that with Playboy.
Okay,
but if there weren't, you wouldn't have an issue with it then? If they were using her to...
I don't think Ivanka would do that inside the magazine, although she does have a very nice figure. said that if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know?
Stop it! Oh, it's so weird. Stop. You know what? You are sick.
I mean, isn't it terrible?
Yeah.
So how
Well, you're
terrible?
known for saying
Is that
outrageous
terrible?
things,
weird.
Mr.
Just like
Trump.
And he ripped off all my clothes, and he started to basically have sex with me, and I was screaming because I'd never had sex before. It was my first time, and Tiffany was yelling at him too. She was saying that I was a virgin, and he told us to just shut the fuck up, and just basically took my virginity while I was crying and telling him to stop, and that's basically begging for him to just stop.